let's look at some interesting question words. So the most important question word is kya, which means what. So that's kya. All right. So now it's interesting how we use it in Hindi. The way you use this is, first, let's try to make a sentence. Amit watches a movie. Okay. So Amit movie or picture. Amit movie dekhta hai. Amit watches a movie. Okay. Now, the way you're going to use kya is Amit watches a movie, but the movie is the word that contains the information. So you're going to replace the movie with kya. Amit kya dekhta hai. Note in Hindi, it's different than in English. It's almost like saying Amit watches a movie, and then you replace the movie with the word what. So Amit watches what. That's how you'll say this. Amit kya dekhta hai. Now let's try another one. Amit kya dekhta hai. Let's try sun. So how can he say Radha listens? First of all, Radha hears a song. Radha gana song sunti hai. And then how can you replace this? What can you say? Radha hears what? Or what is Radha here? You'll say Radha kya sunti hai. Radha kya sunti hai. Easy. That's how you'll say this part here. Okay. Now see if you can interpret this. Let's say I'm saying hum. My bad. Let's try aap, because that's going to be useful. Aap kya khate hai? Okay. See if you can say this part. Aap kya khate hai? I think you'll be able to interpret this. Note, if you're not able to, then the word kha means eat. So if you'd like, post your answers in the comments. The more you post, the more you'll remember it as well. And of course, the more it helps this channel. Okay. Aap kya khate? So the next word now is who. So that word is gone. Now the same sentence, actually, we can try a similar sentence. Let's say Amit eats a dosa. Amit dosa. And see if you can remember also what you've done in the past, how much you've learned. Amit eats a dosa. See how you can say this? Amit, you can pause and check it yourself, what the sentence would mean. Amit dosa khata hai. Amit dosa khata hai means Amit eats a dosa. Now, of course, as we did before, Amit kya khata hai means Amit eats what? But here we are replacing the Amit with kaun. Kaun dosa khata hai. Okay, that means who eats the dosa? Who eats the dosa? Okay, now let's see if you can try this one. Again, let's try this one. Who sings? Let's try this one. My bad. How can you say who speaks Hindi? The word for speak is also super important, and that is bol. So how can you say who speaks Hindi? It's going to be kaun. Yeah, try it yourself. Kaun Hindi bolta hai. Note that I didn't mention the pronunciation of kaun. It's kaun. Kaun. This A and U together is very specific sound in Hindi. It's like an aw sound. Kaun. Kaun Hindi bolta hai. And you'll have this musicality. Kaun Hindi bolta hai. Okay, this way. Note that also if you don't know the gender of who's speaking Hindi or who's doing a particular activity, you're going to default to the masculine gender here. Okay, now you try one more. So let's try a verb, which is de, which is give, super important verb. So how can you say who gives the book? Kaun kitab deta hai, right? Easy. And then the answer could be Amit kitab deta hai. Amit gives the book. How would you make this? Sita gives the book. It would be Sita, and then it will be the same thing. Sita kitab. Sita is a girl's name. So Sita kitab deti hai. Sita kitab deti hai. That would mean Sita gives the book. Note that the answer is usually asked in the conjugated to the masculine singular form. Now we look at the next one, which is where, and the where word is kahan. There's a slight nasality here, but you don't really need to worry about this because most of the time learners of Hindi will mispronounce it kahan and start making it sound like kahan, which is totally unintelligible to the Hindi listener. So you might as well drop it, or if you're very diligent about it, it's a very nasal sound. It's kahan, kahan. But this much is more than enough. So the word for where is kahan. And now Radha dosa khati hai. Know that we've replaced Radha for kaun and dosa for kya. But the kaha word, it doesn't replace anything. It actually comes in the second place now. So this kaha comes right inside here and it becomes Radha kahan dosa khati hai. This is a good place, a default place to put in the word kahan. Usually the question words, most of the question words are going to be in the second place. The first place is going to be where you have the subject, and the second place is where you will have the question word. Radha kahan dosa khati hai? In the coming session, just 2 or 3 sessions after this, we will see how to answer this one. But for now, let's just ask Radha kahan dosa khati hai? And maybe even for now, you just want to say, let's say in a restaurant. So restaurant, that's good enough, restaurant, but actually in the restaurant is restaurant may, in the restaurant. But we'll look at this logic very soon, okay? If you know it, well and good, but Radha kahan dosa khati hai means where does Radha eat? So let's try one more. Let's say you want to say, Radha speaks. Where does Radha speak Hindi? So speak is bol. How can he say, where does Radha speak Hindi? That's it. I think you got it. Radha kahan Hindi bolti hai. Remember, you can always pause these and go back. I think it always makes sense to kind of review these ideas before moving ahead. So Radha kahan Hindi bolti hai. And then you can say in the office, etc. You will learn how to say this. But for now, we're just understanding how to put it. Remember, you always put this in the second place. It sounds the best. The fourth one is when, and that word is kab, kab, kab. Okay, and that same thing, Radha dosa khati hai. And then this word will be Radha dosa khati hai is Radha eats, again, you put it in the second place, you will say Radha kab dosa khati hai. Radha eats the dosa when. That's a slightly better way, even though it's broken English, it's actually easier to understand it this way. Radha eats the dosa when. It's much easier to say this in this broken English because then you will be able to remember that this when actually comes in the second place. It's almost this complete sentence here as opposed to when does Radha eat the dosa. It's a bit confusing for the English speaking mind to think about it this way. But of course, soon you will get used to this. So Radha kab dosa khati hai. Okay, let's try one more. Radha kab park jati hai. So hopefully you're able to listen to what I'm saying. Radha kab park jati hai. Radha kab park jati hai. That would mean Radha goes to the park when. Radha kab park jati hai. Like so. Okay, now there are 2 more, which is kyo. Kyo means why. So again, you can say Radha park jati hai and you can say Radha kyo park jati hai. Radha kyo park jati hai. That means, why does she go to the park? Well, she have many reasons. She might have many reasons, but this is maybe not as commonly used in the early stages of learning Hindi. You just want to understand that there's this why form, and then we will understand in more detail later how to use this. But for now, kyo just means why. Now, the final one is kaisa, which is how. So this is a super important one, and then you will see how to say this. So let's say you want to say Radha kaisa hai is incorrect. Kaisa is one of the few question words which actually conjugates, and you know Radha is feminine. So we're going to go to the quadrant, and you remember Radha is feminine, so it becomes Radha kaisi hai. In this quadrant, you know the feminine singular is kaisi and masculine is kaisa. So Rajesh kaisa hai. If you want to say aap, remember aap is very special. You always conjugate it to the plural. So if it's masculine, you would say aap kaise hai. Aap kaise hai. And of course, it's a lady. You're saying it to aap kaisi hai. There's a slight nasalization here, but you can skip it for now. The more important part is, can you actually pull it off? Aap kaise hai, aap kaisi hai, and then here Radha kaisi hai and Rajesh kaisa hai. These are the important ones. Know that for aap, you will always use this A for the masculine singular, sorry, my bad, the masculine plural, and then the mixed group. And E for the feminine plural form. Okay, so remember, these are the ways how you can say Radha kaisi hai, Rajesh kaisa hai, and aap kaise hai, and aap kaisi hai. Now you can also have simpler sentences like Raj swimmer hai, right? Raj swimmer hai. Of course, we can just use the swimmer word for now, Raj swimmer hai. But let's say you want to say Raj is who? You can say Raj kaun hai. Raj kaun hai, like so. Right? Who is Raj? Raj kaun hai? And then of course you can answer Raj is a friend, Raj friend hai, but Raj kaun hai? Let's try one more here. Let's say you want to say, how can you say, where is Shreya? So Shreya kahan hai? Shreya kahan hai? That would mean how is Shreya? How can you say, how is she? The word for she is wo, so it becomes wo kaisi hai? How is she? An important word is ye, which means this, and wo can also mean that. So how can you say, what is this? So, post in the comments what it would mean. What is this? Ye kya hai? Okay, and then what is that? Something farther away. It would mean wo kya hai? What's that? A little bit farther away. What is that? How would you say, how are you? How are you? Aap kaun hai? How are you is aap kaun hai? Okay, now a few sentences for you. Divya reads what? Or what does Divya read? Remember, the word for read is pad. And see if you can understand and write this sentence down or post in the comments below. Then Rani eats where? How can you answer this one? Remember, the word for eat, the Hindi verb is kha. The final one is Rahul kab. My bad, I actually gave you the answer. Let's try this one. Who gives the book? So remember, the Hindi word for give is de, a super important word. So who gives the book? All right, post your comments below, and then we will work on the next grammar part very soon, and check out the next video.